of us know of Mount Rushmore and what it looks like, but also many of us don't really know the history behind it and the facts, or it's like why were these faces chosen to be in there. Therefore, being one of the most visited places in the United States, Mount Rushmore is filled with history and is being highly preserved with a very high budget. The annual operating budget for Mount Rushmore National Memorial is roughly about $15 million. What many people don't know is that Mount Rushmore was named even before the four large faces were sculpted upon it. As it turns out, Mount Rushmore was named after New York attorney Charles E. Rushmore, who had visited the area in 1885. Carving the southeastern face of Mount Rushmore in South Dakota's Black Hills National Forest are four gigantic sculptures depicting the faces of President George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. This site is one of the world's largest pieces of sculpture, as well as one of America's most popular tourist attractions. To many Native Americans, however, Mount Rushmore represents a desecration of land considered sacred by the Lakota Sioux, the original residents of the Black Hills region who were displaced by white settlers and gold miners in the late 19th century. Before the faces were carved in, it was originally called Rushmore Peak. These faces were sculpted by Gutzon Berglund. He was at first only told to do Washington and Lincoln, but he suggested to also add Jefferson and Roosevelt due to their contributions to American history. These four faces are so important to the United States, and he wanted to pay them tribute by carving their faces into the mount. Mount Rushmore National Memorial sees over 2 million visitors a year from across the country and around the world. There are guided tours of Mount Rushmore, or visitors can rent out an audio guide. At first, local Native Americans refused to let them carve in Mount Rushmore since it was their land by heritage, but their efforts to stop it did not work out. The carving began in October 1927 and ended in 1941. The carving was a very rigorous process that took various hours and a vast amount of funding. But today we get to enjoy the view that Mount Rushmore provides for us. It is a beautiful place for a field trip with an amazing landscape and also full of history and honoring those who made honorable actions to our country. Meanwhile, many Sioux activists have called for the monument to be taken down as they continue to protest what they view as illegal U.S. possession of their ancestral lands. In response to the monument, a Native American memorial is currently being built, honoring one of the most iconic Native American warriors who helped lead the Sioux resistance, the Crazy Horse Memorial. Often known for 14 years, men dangled precautiously off the top of Mount Rushmore, sitting in the bottom chairs and tethered only by 38-inch steel wire to the top of the mountain. Most of these men carry heavy drills or jackhammers. Some even carry dynamite. However, despite the seemingly dangerous working conditions, not a single worker died while carving Mount Rushmore, which is very fortunate.